Genshin Impact is a new free-to-play online game that can be played solo or in a party of 4 players on PC, consoles, or your cell phone. And this game has had some serious hype leading up to its release, and rightfully so. I mean, it's a new take on Zelda Breath of the Wild, just in a more anime-style setting. So I've spent about 10 hours of the game so far, and I really feel like I've barely scratched the surface. I'm about 10% through the main story. I have a third of the world unlocked, and it just feels like there's so much more that I have yet to actually discover. So the world itself feels massive. I mean, it's a giant world. You can explore it by either running around or using your wind glider to get from place to place. Now, luckily, there is fast travel, so you don't have to run back and forth every single quest. They did think that through, which was great. And as you're running around doing the main storyline, you'll also come across side quests, events, dungeons that you can dive into, which help give the world a little bit more depth and life rather than just being something that's really kind of pretty to look at. Which, speaking of, the graphics in this game are just awesome in my opinion. I mean, I really dig this aesthetic. I feel like it's going to hold up well over time, and that's something that I tend to look at when it comes to newer games. How is this game going to look 5 years down the road? Is it going to look incredibly dated, or is it going to, be able to stick the landing a little bit? So when you first start out in Genshin Impact, you're going to have a choice between 2 twins, a brother and a sister. Whichever one you choose is going to be your main character. The other one is going to be kind of your main objective for the storyline. And after that, you're going to quickly build up a 4-person party using key NPCs you meet throughout the main story, which is great. So it's not just that one character will be playing the entire time. And as you progress through the game, you're going to slowly unlock even more characters. There are 22 total heroes to unlock. All have a few skills, skill trees, they have talents that come with them, so there is a lot of depth for each character, which is great. And these heroes aren't just AI companions, so it's not like you're going to unlock them, you put them in your party, and they just run around kind of helping you out. You're actually going to be swapping between these guys, so they are not going to be AI companions. They're not fighting alongside you. Instead, it's up to you to flip between them throughout combat, to chain combos together, deal out some serious damage. And the combat in this game is literally one of the best features of the game. It's super fun, it's engaging, it feels rewarding setting up combos, and it's a system that revolves around applying various elements to enemies and then activating overloads. So for instance, if you're fighting a bunch of enemies in the rain, because there is dynamic weather, then they're going to have the wet tag applied to them, which gives some serious firepower to your heroes that use electric damage. Or you can use a hero to freeze a group of enemies and then flip to a fire hero to do AoE, which in turn melts them and melts their defenses, dealing additional damage. So there is a lot that kind of goes into this, and there are so many different ways to approach fights. And like I said, because there's dynamic weather, it's going to affect enemies and the battlefield differently, so it's important to really capitalize on whatever weakness your enemy has at that time to make sure battles are over quickly. So before I get too deep into this first impressions, I did want to talk about the wish system in the game, which is the cash shop, however you want to kind of describe it. A lot of people are calling it a gacha system, and this is a big focus of criticism for Genshin Impact since this is a free-to-play game. So from my short time playing, remember 10 hours, I was able to purchase 20 wishes, which are like loot boxes that reward weapons and heroes. I got all my currency for this through achievements, through dailies, exploration, boss fights, leveling up, and I did not spend a single cent on my end. I was able to snag 2 new heroes and some decent gear. A lot of the other gear I received was melted down and used to upgrade my current gear. So overall, no pressure, no money spent, anything like that, and I was able to get some pretty cool stuff. Now, if things keep moving in that direction, that's great, but honestly, my big concern is those achievements might dry up. And at that point, how many free boxes will I be able to afford? So big concern, obviously, right? Hence the gacha system. And another thing that I typically hate about free-to-play games and their cash shops is all of the damn advertisements that come with them. I mean, nothing is more annoying than the constant pop-ups, just pop-up, pop-up, pop-ups. And luckily, I haven't had any pressure to even visit that system at the tutorial and haven't had any pressure to revisit the cash shop. They do offer a 30-day membership for $4.99 that gives you some currency to spend in the shop if you want to, which I'm assuming this is going to be the way the game makes money after those achievements and those kind of one-time currency boosts dry up. But all in all, at my point in the game, the cash shop's been a complete non-factor, zero impact, but that could change in the future. So let's move into progression. Now, Genshin Impact has a few different progression systems that you're going to see. The first is the adventure rank, and this is an overarching rank that levels up as you unlock things in the world, you hit certain milestones, level up world statues, and these world statues are the way you reveal more of the map. These can be leveled up to increase your stamina meter and get other bonuses. Now, beyond your adventure rank, you're also going to have hero rank for each hero, and this goes up to 20. You can then ascend that hero, and that gives them a big jump in their stats and allows them to unlock new talents and skills. Ascension itself, though, requires certain materials. These materials are found out in the world. They can be purchased from a vendor in town using in-game currency, so there's a lot of different things you kind of have going on in terms of hero. And hero rank itself is progressed by spending experience books, and honestly, it doesn't take that long to hit 20 for each hero. I have 6 heroes at 20, and I'm just waiting for materials to drop so I can ascend a few of them that I really want to. So don't think there's a massive grind or time commitment on the back end to progressing your heroes. And after each hero rank, you have weapon and artifact rank. And these work similar to hero rank, except these are for your gear. You consume unwanted gear to boost the level of your gear. It's a pretty tried and true system. It's been around forever. You know, break down the junk to empower the strong stuff. Very simple. But overall, I really like the way they went about implementing hero and gear progression. I feel like this gives players something to target and grind for if they want to. It also allows them to really find an item or a playstyle they like and invest heavily into it, rather than constantly swapping out pieces of equipment. So to wrap this thing up, let's talk about the future of the game and my final impressions. One, I've been having a blast with this game. I mean, truly, it's been a solid time, very addicting, but you can tell that some of the decisions that they made were based because this game was also releasing for mobile. Like, there are some UI designs that aren't really intuitive for keyboard and mouse. Things seem to be split up a little weird for like inventory and gearing. I would have much rather seen like a traditional inventory and character pane to make things a little bit smoother on the PC end of things. But overall, the combat, the world, the heroes, they're just incredibly fun to play. And to top that off, the fact that the developers are going to continue supporting this game for a very long time is a strong plus. And speaking of that, the future plans for Genshin Impact. So the game right now is being supported by a 500 developer team, which is just massive, to help create new content for dungeons, events, group content, just tons of stuff coming down the pipe. They received some feedback that people were beginning to run out of things to do at the 50-hour mark, and they really wanted to fix that, so that's what they came up with. Hey, we're going to start adding in new zones, new heroes, new dungeons, new group content, and that's going to keep you guys preoccupied for a very long period of time. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, right? So some cool additions coming in the future, but overall, I want to hear what you guys think. Have you played Genshin Impact? Is it something you guys are enjoying? Is it something you're even interested in? Let me know in the comments below, but as always, thank you so much for the support, guys. This has been Vulkan, and I'll talk to you next time.